Hello there. Once again, this is Anton from Antonimo Bay, and Merry Christmas. Once again, I'm building up to my Christmas day by opening up another figure every single day up until Christmas. And I have been able to snag tons of stuff from Ross and various places, some eBay sales for a lot less than I would normally have to pay. This is it in one case. This is $11.99. which is a little bit more than this is definitely more expensive than I paid for some of these. Most of these have been coming in at like $5.99, $7.99. This one was $11.99, but it is for a Transformers R.E.D. Soundwave. So for the coolness factor of that, I would pay just a little bit more, and I won't worry about it. Now, for those of you who don't know what the R.E.D., that is Robot Enhanced Design, as it says right there. They are non-transforming Transformers, which I know sounds really lame to some of you, I'm sure, but you also got to figure the best factor with it is that it just looks exactly like the cartoon. I mean, it's dead on. For your accessories, for this R.E.D. Soundwave, you're going to get a couple of hands with trigger fingers. You're going to get a cassette tape that doesn't transform, but it does have line work like it would. So that's pretty cool. You get Soundwave's blaster, which I think is also his shoulder mount. No, that's just his blaster. And you get Soundwave himself. Hopefully, pop him out of here. These are pretty well entangled in there. That was noisy. And let's see, how does he feel? He's got this around his waist, probably to keep the door shut on his cassette tape. And what do we caught on there? There we go. Now, right off the bat, you know, he feels a little bit loose, which that's not my favorite thing. And where did that? There it is. All right, so his shoulder cannon's gonna go right there. And this is where you're gonna get like looks over functionality. I guess it depends on how you look at it. So the tape drawer pops open. We can go ahead and stick, it looks like Laserbeak's disc or tape in there. Pop that shut and he looks really good. And that's the main thing, is these look really good. I'm gonna tilt my camera down just a little bit. There we go. So they're not made to transform. They're not going to fit into his alt mode or anything like that. He just looks like he did in the show. It's a really good rendition of the character, not necessarily the transforming function. It's a character-focused design, which I'm okay with because I don't generally transform my Transformers. I want the character, not a cassette. I want Starscream, not a jet. The transforming part of it is not ever what really sold me. I love what they become, but what they become isn't absolutely necessary to my enjoyment of the character, which, you know, that's a long way of saying I don't need to transform. So what does an R.E.D. do other than just being an amazing representation of the character? You get a ball joint on the head, it looks like. So your head gets swivel and it looks up and down. It does some of that stuff. Joints, you're gonna get, it's kind of like well, it's interesting. It wiggles back and forth, but not up and down. So you get a forward backwards motion. It has a dumbbell peg and then it goes to a swivel on the end. So the articulation is fairly similar to it was on the transforming version of the figure. You get an upper bicep swivel, double jointed elbow, and kind of a ball joint at the hand. You get that on both sides. I was thinking you get, oh yeah, you do. You get a rotation at the waist. I don't know if you'd call this a ball joint. Maybe. It's so blocky, it's hard to call it a ball joint. But you get a ball joint at the hip, upper thigh cut. Looks like a double jointed knee as well. And then for the foot, you get a large ball joint with an ankle rocker. So it's a little bit odd, a little bit different as far as articulation goes, and hopefully that should get you anything you need to pose him the way that you would pose him. I almost never see him use his blaster, so I don't really probably worry about him doing that. The legs are solid. This is solid and heavy, so it does feel a little bit wobbly. You can tell. When you hold on to the legs, though, it doesn't feel, the upper doesn't feel as near as wobbly as the bottom does. There is a little bit of wobble to this, not gonna lie. But if you just want him to sit on your shelf, look cool, be there for you, talk cool in your brain, work on your Soundwave impression, he's gonna be great. And to have something that looks this cool sitting on my shelf or the dash of your car or whatever for $11.99, I'm down with that. In fact, I'm double down with that. That's great. Anyway, that's my story. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is one I do recommend if you are into Soundwave at all. It is a Hasbro, so what you gonna do? Anyway, that's my story. Thank you guys for watching. I will catch you later. Please have a Merry Christmas. Go get yourself some toys. Feel like a kid again. It's worth doing. Catch you guys later. Bye.